Exponential equations, example 4. So we want to solve this equation. Now we've seen this type of thing before when we did the factorizing. It's going to turn out to be a quadratic. 4 is 2 squared. So we have 2 squared to the power x minus 5 multiplied by 2 to the x plus 6 is equal to 0. And we know from the power of a power law that we can just switch these. So it's 2 to the x squared minus 5 lots of 2 to the x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now, it sometimes helps if we say, well, let y be equal to 2 to the x. And then we have y squared minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. And then we have y and y. In this case, it would be 3 and 2. And if we make them both minuses, that does the trick. So y would be equal to 3, or y would be equal to 2. But remember, y is 2 to the x. So we get 2 to the x is equal to 3, or 2 to the x is equal to 2. Now this one gives me x is equal to 1, but actually solving this one, you need to wait for the very next chapter to actually get the value of x for that one. But I'm just going to show you what we would do here is we would take logs of both sides, and you haven't met logs yet. So log 2 to the x would be equal to log 3. And then there's a log law that says I can say that's x log 2 equals log 3. And so x is log 3 divided by log 2. So when you do the very next chapter and you add logs to it, you'll be able to understand what this solution has just done here. Now we want to solve this equation. Note that 9, of course, is 3 squared. So we've got 2 lots of 3 squared to the power x. Take away 5 lots of 3 to the x. Take away 3 is equal to 0. So twice 3 to the x squared minus 5 lots of 3 to the x. Take away 3 equals 0. And then if we let y be equal to 3 to the x, we have 2y squared minus 5y minus 3 is equal to 0. And we need to factorize that. So we're looking for numbers that multiply to -6, add to give -5, and -6 and 1 will do that. So we'll have 2y squared minus 6y plus y, take away 3, and 2y, y take 3, add 1, y take 3. So that's 2y plus 1, y take away 3 is equal to 0. And so that's going to give us 2 lots of 3 to the x plus 1 and 3 to the x minus 3 is equal to 0. This first one would give us 3 to the x is equal to -1/2. And that is not possible. As we're about to investigate, 3 to the power x will always be positive. There's no value of x here that would give you a negative value. So it's not possible for 3 to the x to be -1/2. This one gives me 3 to the x is equal to 3, and that would be x equals 1. So x equals 1 is actually the only solution of that one. But you have to write down both of these and state that this one's not possible.